humidity sensor with Arduino Uno. So the things we will need the humidity sensor, that is the DHT11 itself, and next we will need the Arduino Uno, which is one of the major components of our project right now. We will also need a breadboard, a tiny breadboard that we are going to work on, and we are going to need jumper cables. So that's all. Let's connect and let's have a look at the circuit diagram. This is the circuit diagram. It's pretty simple, and let's start connecting. Now let's place my sensor on a breadboard and let's connect the jumper cables as shown. Now we can see that there's ground, data and VCC. I'm going to connect the wires in the same order, that is ground, data and VCC. So let's connect the ground of the sensor to the ground of my Arduino. So there you go, the ground to the ground, and then the data pin. Where does the data pin go? It is mentioned in the code. I have mentioned it to be as analog 0, so A0, and then the last pin, which is VCC, it's also the 5 volts. So that is just for the power supply of our sensor. Now you can cross verify your connection one more time, and when you are done checking it, you are all set to go. Now the final step, we can connect this via a USB. We need to connect our board via a USB to the computer so we can program it. Now the code explained. Let's have a look at the code. This is the code. It's going to be provided in the description. Alright, and let's go to tools and check for the port. Okay, now on our port there is no Arduino connected, so let's connect the Arduino via the USB. So once we perform this step and we connect our Arduino to our computer, alright, we have to go back to tools and check for our port, and there you go, we have our Arduino Uno. Now let's have a look at DHT.h. Okay, now this is the header file. Okay, and let's compile this. So when I compile, it says no such file or directory is found. I have a file that is in the description. You can download this file. That's the DHT library. Alright. Now I'm going to teach you how to include this in your Arduino library. Okay, so I'll go to Sketch and then say include library, and then say add zip library. Okay, now you can locate the file that was provided in the description for the DHT library. Okay, and you can then edit directly. So I'm going to locate it on my system. It's lesson number 24, DHT11. Alright, and just select the zip file and say open. Alright, now you can see that there is library added to. Okay, and you can compile, and once you're compiled, it will say done compiling. Now we are ready to upload the program onto our Arduino. So once you press upload, you're done uploading, and there you go. Alright, so it's done, and now let's have a look at the code. Okay, now this DHT.h, okay, that includes the DHT library. Okay, it has all the keywords present in this library. Now let's look at the next. It defines the pin that has to be connected to our sensor. Okay, now the sensor pin, that is the data pin, is connected to A0, which is mentioned here. I'm writing comments so that you can refer to them later. Now this line of code gives out a name to my humidity sensor. Alright, so I've just named it as DHT. There's nothing major there, we can skip that. Now let's go to the next part with next line, which says serial.begin 9600. Okay, now 9600 is the baud rate at which we will communicate. Okay, and I can say that the slower the communication speed, the better it is. Alright, then I've added a delay, so the delay is down below, that is delay 500, and I have given that time to reboot. Okay, Then we have a next line which is basically the serial print, and then we have a delay of 1 more second. So that 1 second is used for my sensor, okay, to respond. Okay, I can see a small delay for the sensor to start. Okay, so hopping on to the next part, DHT11 and DHT pin. Okay, that is how my analog pin is giving out the values. Okay, so I'm reading the values from my analog pin, and that is exactly the most important pin in the whole code. So please keep in mind that you don't make any error there. Now these are just serial prints, and that's a delay. Okay, now it's used for how many data before you want to take samples. Okay, so I would advise you the slower the better, and just keep in mind that you at least keep an interval of 2 seconds. Okay, so you actually give some time for the sensor to respond. Alright, so I've written down in the comments, so in case if you miss out anything, you can refer to the code directly. Alright, so now we'll compile this. So before compiling, save it and then upload. So once you're done uploading, okay, you can go to serial monitor and check for the output. So now you can see that the current humidity down here is 82% and my temperature is 33 degrees centigrade. So you can keep getting these spontaneous readings. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe.